Hello everyone, Maureen Hashi, psychic medium, intuitive healer. Welcome to Chronicles of a Medium. Today it was the funniest thing. I was looking online to see if I could find an interesting cold case file from years ago, like probably around the same decade. And I couldn't find anything that jumped out at me that was speaking to me. And then all of a sudden I got this download of information and I was like, whoa, it was so powerful. I had to stop what I was doing and write it down. Hi, Ryan. So it was really crazy. So bear with me. There's like a lot of details and this doesn't feel like too long ago. I'm gonna say within 5-10 years this murder happened. So I'm gonna refer to my notes because I don't want to miss anything, okay? And then if you know anything about this case or murder, contact OPP, and you can also reach out to me at readingsbymaureen@gmail.com. And we'll see if we can get this murder solved or figure out who it is. So, two men in their mid-20s rented this farmhouse somewhere in Richmond, Ontario, is what I hear. The house seems to be the man upstairs, the strong one, who obviously is the murderer in this case. And then there's another man that lives downstairs, but the guy upstairs has rented out his space as well to an older gentleman, not in his 20s, so mid-40s. And then the two upstairs, what I was getting is that they're involved in some criminal activity of some sort. And only one is, though. Like, the older fellow did not initiate the crime, but he was witness to it and partook in trying to cover it up and help his friend out. So one man murders to cover it up. The body is transferred to the barn and loaded up into a truck. The truck is white. It has, what do you call those? A supertop. So it's kind of like this dome top with a hatchback. It's got windows on it. It's kind of like, looks like a camper top that you put on a truck. The truck is white. It seems to be a little beat up. There might be a blue stripe on either side. 4x4, older truck. So not new. Or it's just beat up looking. Anyway, they take this guy to the barn and wrap him in a tarp, reload him, and dump the body elsewhere, is what I've heard. Now, let's unpack this a little bit. There seems to be an altercation between the two, so the man that holds the lease to the property and the man who finds himself dead. And the night they'd had this big discussion. It seems like, okay, so let's talk about the victim for a second. He seems about a little over 6 feet, bigger build, you know, strong, strapping guy, but also zero forks are given in his attitude. Like, he's got a big, strong attitude. His arms are waving. He's showing me what he's wearing. He's wearing a thinner winter jacket, a white shirt, you know, loosely fit. There might be some stains on it. Blue jeans, thick, unkept hair. And he feels like he has high blood pressure and also strung out on drugs or alcohol or something. Definitely struggles with addictions in his life. So these two guys seem like they're either up to no good, they're selling something, they're doing something, and this guy that owns the lease to the house attacks the other guy because I think there was, you know, like I said, some altercation. His hands are waving in the air. This guy feels intimidated, so he takes this hammer and, you know, basically strikes the guy. He passes out, but he's not passed out, he's dead. It feels like there's more than one blow to this guy because I see lots of blood. Anyway, there's lots of trauma to this guy. Panicked. Now the roommate, the man in his 40s, comes home to this mess, sees this body on the floor, and this guy, his roommate, holding this hammer full of blood. You know, blood is everywhere. And so he says to him, hey, you got to help me clean this up. Well, the guy is scared, so of course he's like, yeah, okay, you know, because he didn't want to be murdered either. So he takes him, puts him in his own truck. They go out to the barn and they do this. They put the body in a tarp, they clean up the truck, they go back into the house, leave the body there, clean up the house, and then it feels like the body is dumped somewhere. So it could even be on the property or whatever, because later on it feels like the police are suspect to this young guy that owns the lease to the property. So then I see the murderer, the perpetrator, very, very clear, and I don't want to miss anything. So anyway, his description. The two seemed like, the roommates seemed like business partners. So they do some sort of construction together. So it's either roofing or building something or something like that. Subcontractors or something. This guy, the older guy, feels like a really nice guy, well put together, you know, had a string of bad luck, bad relationships. I think he's gotten divorced or something. And now he's running. So he, after this murder and this altercation, he moves out. You know, and keep in mind, this is what Spirit's showing me. So I have no idea who these people are or what's going on. It's crazy. So the guy, I don't even know what to call him, the roommate, the older roommate, he's like, screw this, packs his shit up, takes the murder weapon, why, I have no idea, cleans that up, and makes a beeline for it. And he's gone. So he had nothing to do with the murder other than covering it up for his roommate. The roommate is about 6 feet, 235 pounds. He's got a receding hairline, thinner at the top here. It might have been thicker when he was younger. Mid to late 20s. He might be older now. I'm hearing maybe 32. So this murder happened a little bit ago. He has greenish, brownish eyes. So not green, not brown, just kind of this interesting, you know, hazily type. He has a rounder face. I see freckles on his face. A thin, perfect nose. Like he's got a perfect symmetrical nose, if that makes sense. And while a good guy, for the most part, he panicked that night. I'm not sure what went down. It feels like a lot of money. This guy that he murdered might have been screwing him over somehow or demanding more money. Anyway, the guy was irate. All he had to do was ask him to leave, call for help, you know, 911. I have, you know, a crazy guy at my house. Why murder him? You know, why take that into your hands? It's crazy to me. Anyway, so also he's farm strong. So the guy that murders him is like, he's a strong, strapping lad. Like he's, it feels like he's been on a farm his whole life. He might not be from Ontario, but that's where he is now, or was at the time of the murder. But they do own some sort of business company. Now the guy downstairs is like, has no idea of anything that's going on, except for when he comes home from doing a night shift, he's like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. There's weird energy. He stays for a couple weeks, gives his notice, and moves on. So he's kind of benign in this whole thing. He wasn't witness to anything. He wasn't party to anything. And so he leaves the house unknowing of anything that's going on. The victim, like I said, he struggled with addictions of some sort. Like he was into cocaine, he was, an alcoholic, angry individual, very boisterous, and, just a big loudmouth type of guy. And it would make it hard to do business with him because he was very like, my way or no way, and headstrong, and be careful who you do business with. Also, I hear the name Tim. So this could either be the guy's name was Tim, he was from Timmins, his last name was Timothy. Like there's some sort of connection to the name Tim. So either the victim or the perpetrator had the name Tim, or affiliated with the name Tim or Timmins, something along that lines. Now at the time of the murders, the murderer was, like I said, I hear 27, so in that age range, and his friend who helped him was probably about 40 to 42 at the time, obviously a little older. I'm hearing 47 for the time. Now, they tried very hard to hide this murder, and in fact, the older fellow, I feel like he comes back and forth to Edmonton, to Ontario. Like he's really scared of not just the police are being found out, but he's also very scared of the guy that murdered, because obviously, now he's in cahoots with this not nice person who took someone's life, and he's an accomplice. He's also guilty of, obstruction of justice, moving the body after death. Like it's just craziness. So anyway, if you live in Ontario and this murder sounds familiar to you, and I've said anything that rings a bell, please reach out, readingsbymaureen@gmail.com, or contact your OPP, and I'd be more than happy to speak to any officer in this regards to this crime that I've been gifted by spirit. Obviously, the victim wants his crime solved. I do not believe this has been solved yet, and so don't kill people. It's bad. This is Maureen Hashi, psychic medium, intuitive healer. For now, sayonara.